summer of 2001. Hanging by a Moment by Lifehouse was topping the charts, people were filling theaters to watch a donkey romance a dragon, and you could still get to the gate of an airplane without a security scan or boarding pass. Though none of this mattered to a curly-headed 2-year-old whose only goal was to avoid getting water in his eyes while trying to escape the heat of the swampy sauna commonly referred to as Orlando, Florida. To accomplish this, his parents brought him and his brother to a local water park's kiddie land during their vacation. If you somehow haven't figured it out, that little boy is me, 24 years ago now. Despite many years passing since the recording of these home videos, I still hold so many vivid memories from my time at
Watermania. At Watermania, cool off in Florida's largest wave pool.
But unfortunately, what I remember is generally from the perspective of a 2 and later 3-year-old. So now, at the frail, old age of 26, I want to explore the history of a water park that defined my early childhood, but viewed through the lens of someone with a fully developed prefrontal cortex. To get the full story, we need to go back to the beginning. Back before the water had gotten maniacal. I can't believe I wrote that. This sucks. The 36-acre water park would open in 1986 to offer those spending all day in the Orlando sun a new way to cool off and have fun just 2 miles from Disney property. Trust me, if you have ever been walking through Tomorrowland moving at a near crawl because a massive family with matching t-shirts can't decide which way they want to go, there's a child kicking the back of your ankles, and a Mickey balloon is hitting you in the face, all while it feels like 105 outside without a cloud to be seen, you will understand why Watermania became a huge success. At one point, the park even welcomed over 500,000 guests through its gates each year, and this was due in no small part to the large variety of attractions at the park. There was amusements for the 3-year-old Joe, who was terrified of pretty much everything, but also for my thrill-seeking father, who was younger in this video than I am now. I am not sure how I feel about that. Most of my memories are based right around here, the Rainforest Kiddieland, and that would be because I was literally a toddler both times I went. The 2 staples of this area were the Rain Train, a life-size locomotive that sprayed water out of its wheels, and a mock pirate ship surrounded by slides and fountains. I loved this pirate ship, okay?
No,
One of my most vivid memories is climbing up onto it, trying to find a slide that didn't splash water in my face, and then still being too scared to go down any of them anyway, resulting in me just aimlessly wandering around the top deck, ignoring my mother's calls to just pick a slide and go down it.
Go ahead, Joey, it's not deep.
Maybe that ship is why I am obsessed with everything and anything pirate themed today. Who knows? The park was mainly built around its centerpiece, a large Watermania branded wave pool. Watermania would also offer the first continuous waveform surf simulator in the entire state of Florida, which allowed users to test their surfing or boogie boarding skills on an artificial wave. And for most people, including my father, those attempts resulted in some hilarious wipeouts. But unfortunately, the footage of this happening is from a terrible angle where you can't quite see the crash, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. While all of these offerings were interesting, how did Watermania compare to its local competition? Well, competition was steep, to say the least. The owners Gary and Randy Larson were not the first to try to tap into Orlando's large market of overheating tourists, or the second for that matter. Disney would open River Country 10 years prior in 1976. Themed after a rustic swimming hole, it featured a few different pools and small water slides, but had the added benefit of being on Disney property. Unfortunately, the brain-eating amoebas in the lake water used in the park were included with the price of admission. Anyway, Watermania's more direct competitor would be Wet n Wild. Opening in 1977, just a year after River Country, this attraction would be a more traditional water park that opened with several water slides and whose centerpiece was also, you guessed it, a large branded wave pool. To make matters worse, both of these attractions were within a 20-minute drive of Watermania. So the hatchling attraction was already fighting against the current before its gates even opened. But that didn't discourage the Larsons, as they would continue to find ways to stand out in this already crowded niche. Watermania would focus more on reeling in families, while Wet n Wild generally focused more on teenagers. This can be seen in both parks' ride offerings, with Watermania having 6 slides to Wet n Wild's 9. Occasionally a ride or attraction would be added or removed, but generally the park remained largely the same. This is pretty much how the park would operate for the duration of its life. Watermania would continue providing a nice place for families to cool off from that famous Central Florida heat for nearly 20 years, until everything abruptly changed. On September 5th, 2005, Watermania would close its doors for the final time. This took the local community by surprise, and many theorized that it was due to increased water park competition in Orlando, since the niche now also had Disney's Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, both of which also had much cooler wave pools. They also charged nearly the same amount for tickets as both Watermania and Wet n Wild. These numbers are adjusted for inflation. Unfortunately, data on parking costs is limited for this time period, but even with what we know, all the prices to get into the parks fell generally within $10 of each other, excluding random deals and discounts. Not to mention SeaWorld and Universal Studios, both of which were trying to target the same demographic as Watermania. This definitely could have been a contributing factor, but it wasn't actually the reason cited by the owners, since the park and attached hotel were never put on the market and showed no signs of financial strain. It honestly just kinda sounded like the Larsons were tired of the highly competitive Orlando tourism industry. It is estimated that they were offered $20 million for the property, and the owner stated that they simply just couldn't pass up that good of a deal. So the park would close at the end of the 2005 season. Wet n Wild would accept unused Watermania day passes and season passes the following year. Job fairs were also held in an effort to move the 96 staff members to other businesses in the Orlando tourism industry. On Labor Day 2005, the water park that had once been a cacophony of laughter, splashing water, and the US's top songs would become forever silent. Watermania would sit abandoned for a short time after this, proving to be a popular site for Orlando's urban exploring community until it was demolished. I was having a hard time finding the park's exact location online due to a ton of contradicting information. And since I couldn't exactly drive in 2002, my memory of how to get to Watermania is essentially non-existent. But I think it was located here, at least according to MapQuest, which still exists apparently. Today the property is taken up by a Fairfield Inn, a Golden Corral, a large apartment complex, and some other miscellaneous businesses. I can honestly think of no better comparison to show how the fun of my childhood has been drained from the world in favor of dreary, drab, and beige corporations, chain restaurants, and private equity-owned apartments. Very cool. In all honesty, the likelihood of Watermania making it to today, even if it hadn't gotten bought out, are slim to none, especially with the market being only more saturated now and its main competitor, Wet n Wild, closing in 2017. As much as I wish I could see Watermania today, I also understand that that is purely for nostalgic reasons. If I had never heard of Watermania before and it still existed in Kissimmee, it's highly unlikely I would ever choose it over the Disney water parks, Volcano Bay, or Aquatica. It was a product of its time, and that's okay. We can still look back at the park fondly to appreciate all of the fun memories it brought to the Orlando area. I will always remember the excitement that I felt splashing around those kiddie areas with my family. And I am sure that there are many out there who cherish the memories of hot summer days spent at Watermania. As Watermania continues to live on in my heart, let me know down below if you have a cherished local water park. I would love to hear all about it. If you enjoyed this personal video that looked at a water park that was very important to me, please do consider liking and subscribing. I know every YouTuber tells you to do it, but I'm cooler and I'll respond to your comments. So do it, I guess, if you could. I'd appreciate it. I don't want to tell you what to do because that'd be messed up, but if you could, I'd appreciate it. That'd be very nice of you. So maybe consider it. Either way, thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.